Now we're going to take these graphs and we're going to write equations from them. This is exciting. So we need to keep in mind that we have proportional and non-proportional equations that we could be writing these for. So the easiest way to start this off is to look at your graph and think to yourself, is this proportional graph or is this a non-proportional graph? What is this one? Is this proportional or non-proportional? It is a non-proportional graph. How do you know? Or excuse me, it is proportional. Andrea, come on. How do you know it's a proportional graph? If you remember, when we were talking about the different characteristics of graphs, a proportional graph goes through the origin, and that's what this one does. It goes through the origin because it's proportional. So that means our equation, since it's proportional, let me go back to that other paper. Because it's a proportional graph, that means it's going to be in the form y equals mx. Where m is our slope. And how do we calculate slope again? Rise over run. So for us to figure out what number we need to plug in for our m, we need to find pretty points, do our rise and our run. So we know that this is proportional, so our origin is a pretty point. And then they also give us all these pretty points along the way. Isn't that so nice of them? It really is. It makes our life easier if you read the graph correctly. So if I go from here, I go up one line. Each of these lines is going by 1. So that means my rise is 1. But this is where they're trying to trick you. You look at the run. Yes, our run is 2 boxes, but that's not what I'm going to write down here. How much are these lines going by? Those are going by 3s. Those are going by 3s. So that means that for each line, I'm running 3. So I run 3, I ran 6. My slope for this one is 6, or 1/6. So when we plug that in here, we plug in our slope, which is 1/6. And then because it's a rule, we don't plug in anything for the y or the x. So our equation for this would be y equals 1/6 x. So now looking at our second graph, again, we want to start off thinking, is this proportional or non-proportional? This one is non-proportional. How do you know? It does not go through the origin, so it is non-proportional. What is the form of a non-proportional equation for 7th grade? The 7th grade equation is y equals x plus b. Y equals x plus b. So we need to figure out what this b is. That's our y-intercept. Where do we look for our y-intercept? Yeah, we want to look on our y-axis. I want to see where my graph crosses that y-axis. And it's at this point right here. This point right here, this is going to be what my b is. What number is that? That would be -3. This line is -1. That's -2. So this point right here would be -3. So that's what I need to plug in for my b. I'm going to have y equals x plus -3. Or the way that you would usually see it written in a textbook would be y equals x minus 3. They both mean the same thing, but this is what you would see on a test, in a textbook, how you'd see it written in real life. I hope those explanations help you write equations from graphs. Go ahead and do the practice that goes along with it on the slides. And as always, if you have questions, comments, or concerns, send us an email. We would love to hear from you.